Trump, do not send the National Guard to Chicago, gang. Do not, I repeat, do not do it. We are a different fucking breed out here, nigga. We are not Los Angeles. Nigga, we are not Washington, D.C. Nigga, this is Chicago, nigga. Them niggas go fight back. I'm telling you, them niggas go fight back, gang. Whatever, I don't give a fuck what you talking about. Them young niggas got switches, gang. They not going for that shit, bro. I know a bunch of y'all finna say, oh, it's the National Guard. They can't do anything about it. They must go in Chicago. Nigga, do y'all know that it's more bad people than good people, bro? There are over 100,000 gangs in Chicago by the city by itself.
Yeah, Trump talking about something. Chicago about to find out why it's called the Department of War. Nigga, you about to find out why it's called Direct. The fuck, goofy ass nigga.
Alright, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory due to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak Wadash. I'd like to give double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who I learned this truth from, and I'd like to say peace and salutations unto the hopefully elect. And today, I just want to do a quick video on pretty much the videos that have been going around, about the couple guys that pretty much saying that, they're going to retaliate against, the National Guard. Talking about you Chicago niggas, and let me clarify what I mean when I say that, because obviously, I'm not talking about brothers, the elders are not brothers out there. No, I'm talking about you niggas out there, you YNs in particular. Because these two niggas that said what they said, they don't understand that, you have this false, or you have this delusion that as if you have these conversion devices, also known as switches, on these handguns that, that's supposed to scare trained killers, because that's what they are, man. Now they may not have the level of training that the military has, but they still are army, And this is what you ignorant niggas fail to realize, is that they are trained, man. They are trained killers. They will take you niggas out. And that's exactly what they're going to do, And then I had, I've thought of a number of titles to name this video, man, but, all I'm gonna say is you niggas are not ready, man. Y'all ain't ready how y'all think y'all is. It don't matter if it's 100,000 gangs in Chicago. They finna steamroll a lot of you niggas out there, man. And not just in Chicago, all over the U.S. All you YNs. Because again, your time is coming, man. The Lord is about to start pouring out judgment, man. Because again, a lot of you little niggas have to go, man. You're wicked. You can't be rehabilitated, man. There's nothing the Lord can do with you, So your only purpose on this earth in this current time is to be destroyed, You'll be reborn, but you're just going to die in a horrific fashion. So I'm just going to bring out a few scriptures. Lord willing, this lesson is edifying and straight to the point. And I'm going to start with the book of Romans chapter 8 and verse 6. And it says, for to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace. And just straight to the point, man. To have that carnal mindset, to think that you're going to come up against Esau, Edom, with his blessing is just fucking insane, And again, excuse the language, but that is insane. To think that the very thing that he has mastered over these years, that you're going to come up against him with it. A lot of you niggas don't realize is that Esau, they teach their children how to shoot, disarm, and reassemble firearms at a very young age, as soon as they start walking, and I've seen videos of this, where young Edomite children can shoot better than a lot of you niggas can actually break down a firearm properly and put it back together. A lot of you can't do that, But this is why you have those switches too, because you niggas don't have aim. So what do? You spray and pray. And then y'all think just because y'all got that, you're just untouchable. No. The only thing that switch does is just make your handgun shoot faster. Not realizing that you're just going to run out of ammo way faster. And as soon as you do that, then what? You through, you out of ammo. So that's just going to make their job much easier in coming after you, So again, being carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace. And us, the true men of the Lord out here, Lord willing, we're spiritually minded because we know for a fact that we can't come up against Esau carnally, man. He's too powerful. But what? That's the balance. Spiritually, we're too powerful for him. He can't mess with us, man, because he knows that, the Lord is on our side, So spiritually, he can't combat us. But physically, carnally, we cannot combat him, This is why we need the Lord to deliver us from this madman that is in rulership, And a lot of you just don't realize that, man. It's going to get really real out here, and it's continuing to get real. Literally, just earlier, Charlie Kirk, I've seen videos of it. I think literally as soon as it happened, saw a video of it, Charlie Kirk being assassinated, So again, man, things are heating up. Jacob's trouble is here, man. It's not coming, it's here. And it's just going to keep continually getting gradually worse as time progresses, So I'm going to get the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 4, and it says, "For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through Yahweh to the pulling down of strongholds." Right, man, the weapons of our warfare are not carnal. Meaning, again, we don't have carnal weapons that we can use to come up against Esau, Edom. Again, remember, his blessing is the sword, man. How are you going to try to combat this man with something that he was blessed with? This particular weaponry that he has, man. And it's not just limited to guns. He has missiles, tanks, these fighter jets, biological warfare, these jabs, those different shots that he has, man, these different pestilences and diseases out here, it doesn't just stop at that. But again, you can't come up against him with something that he was blessed with. Right, and then let's get that in the book of Genesis. Like I went to Exodus, Genesis chapter 27. Again, getting straight to the point. And this was after, Jacob received the blessing, and then Esau cried, because our forefather Jacob, again, he finessed him, and Rebecca helped, Jacob, get that blessing, which it was going to go to him anyway, but still just the way the Lord set it up. But this is Genesis 27 and verse 40, and it says, "And by thy sword shalt thou live." Matter of fact, Salakia, I'll start up. Let me just start at verse 38, Genesis chapter 27 and verse 38. And it says, "And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing? My father, bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above." So right, Esau has the best of everything right now. He lives in the best places. He has gets the best, food, the best wine, everything, man. The fatness, he gets the best of everything right now, right? But what else? Verse 40, and it says, "And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break the yoke from off." It's like that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. All right, man. After, the death of King Solomon, King David and King Solomon, Esau got from up under us, and then fast forward to the, the dark ages when, We ruled Europe. When I say we, the so-called Negroes, we ruled Europe. Esau, Edom, got from up under us again, then eventually came back into power, and that's how Esau, Edom rules. He rules by his sword, man, and it's not just limited to the gun, he has all type of weaponry, so you niggas that sitting here taking this lightly, as if, all right, man, it's just the National Guard, it's nothing. They're not like the police, man, They're militarized. They are the army. You can't come up against them. There's nothing you can do. You are just a bunch of untrained niggas with guns. That's it. You don't train. A lot of you don't know how to shoot properly, which is why, bystanders get hit. But you really think you stand a chance against men that have been training, for who knows how long, right? Then I was looking this up earlier. I asked ChatGPT, right? Let's see what you niggas really think you're ready for, right? So I asked ChatGPT, how well trained is the National Guard, right? So it says the National Guard is generally considered well trained, but its training level depends on the mission and how it compares to the active duty military. So it gives a breakdown. So it says basic training. Every National Guard soldier, again, keyword soldier, they're not police, they're soldiers. Every National Guard soldier goes through the same basic training. It's like your basic combat training, BCT, and advanced individual training, AIT, as active duty Army soldiers. This means they start with the same baseline skills and weapons, tactics, fitness, and discipline. Come on, man. Listen to what that just said. You niggas, y'all don't understand. Y'all think this a game, man. They are not your local police officers. They are soldiers. And if they have their orders are going to be to take you niggas out, man, Now, is that going to happen, immediately as soon as they touch down in Chicago? No. But we know for a fact it's going to cause problems. It is, because, again, you niggas out there, you're wild, man. But, again, you like the saying down south, man, you niggas is going to get your issue. You is. So I'm just going to read a little bit more. It says ongoing training. It says Guard members typically train 1 weekend per month and for a 2-week annual training period each year. Some units, such as aviation, special forces, or cybersecurity, may train more frequently because of less day-to-day immersion than active duty forces. Guard units may not always be at the same constant readiness level, but they can quickly be brought up to full strength. Come on, man. So basically what they just said, even if they're on the same level of training as, active duty forces, they'll still be brought up to speed. It won't take that long. So it says specialized training. It says many Guard soldiers have the same schools available as active duty, including airborne, ranger, sniper, and special forces qualifications depending on their assignment. Certain Guard units, like aviation, engineering, or medical, are highly specialized and often provide unique capabilities. So just, again, the different things that they do, then it's just going to other things, I don't really need to bring out, you can look up on your own. But you niggas are not ready for this. I'm telling you, you're not ready for this. Talking about, yeah, man, this Chicago. You know what I'm saying? I'm not mocking the city. Not mocking the city at all. But just you niggas that really sitting there, man, Trump don't send the National Guard, man. We a different breed out here. We is not scared. We got switches. Just keep that same energy. Once them boots hit the ground, you two niggas that made them video, keep that same energy. once they get there, man. These troops are not finna play with you niggas, man. Because again, I'm just speaking from speculation, man. They're on the... If any orders that they get, they're only gonna have one or two orders. Either to haul you niggas off to concentration camps or to execute you on sight. Because that's really what it's gonna boil down to, those two options. You know, and a lot of you, that's... You're just gonna be executed. They're gonna kill you on sight, man. It's y'all really think y'all ready? That's laughable. It is, man. Y'all really think you niggas? Who do you think y'all? Where do y'all think y'all be getting y'all guns from? You fucking morons. Again, excuse the language, but still, man. Where do y'all think y'all get y'all guns from? The military. Because it's been brought out time and time again that they literally leave crates of guns in these different Chicago neighborhoods, man. So again, this is what they want. They want you to fight back so that they can... Come on, man. Y'all ain't ready. Y'all really think y'all doing something with these guns? These niggas will... Y'all must not have seen some of the highlights from this Ukraine-Russia war. You know, well, the last thing some of those soldiers seen was a drone flying their way, and that was it. Come on, man. That's all they gotta do is just send drones at you niggas, and y'all really think pistols is gonna stop that? Stop it, man. Just please stop. Go on to sit down somewhere. It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 10, and verse 5, and it says, O Assyrian, the rod of mine anger, and the staff in their hand is mine indignation. I will send him against an hypocritical nation, excuse me, Slakia, and against the people of my wrath will I give him a charge to take the spoil and to take the prey and to tread them down like the mire of the streets. And right, this is originally talking about Sennacherib, you know, but now we can apply this to Esau Edom because he is the rod of the Lord's anger, man. He's the Lord's whipping stick, you know, to keep, you know, the nation of Israel in check, you know. And again, the Lord is going to send him against a hypocritical nation. The hypocritical nation is you niggas, man. The Lord is about to send Esau after you. He's going to allow Esau to do what he wants to do before he gets taken out of power. And a lot of you think this is a game, man. It's not. This man is about to go crazy out here. And y'all think y'all can handle that. You can't. It's the book of Revelation, chapter 12 and verse 12. And it says, Therefore, rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. And right, this is what Esau is ultimately getting ready to do. You clearly see Trump has deployed the National Guard in D.C. He wants to send them to, you know, Chicago, which if they're not there already, you know, they're getting prepared for them to come because there's also going to be, you know, a protest, if I'm not mistaken. I've been hearing about that. You know, they also want to send them to Baltimore. How much more when they want to send when he actually sends the National Guard to every major city in America, you know, because y'all just brought out, you know, the other day where you have one candidate, I forget what he was running for. If it's not mayor, I think it may have been governor, something like that, right? Pretty much saying that he wants the National Guard to come to Detroit, you know. It was a guy down in Louisiana, either in Baton Rouge or New Orleans. He was in one of those cities. Calls itself, I forget, Woody, the mayor of MAGA. You know, that's what he calls himself, some old Jake. You know, says he wants the National Guard to come down there. Well, again, you niggas are going to get exactly what you're asking for, you know. And trust and believe the Lord. He's not going to help you. He's not going to have mercy on you, you know, because again, a lot of you niggas, you don't believe, man. You don't believe the Lord. You don't trust the Lord. So Whatever it is you believe in during that time, whether it's another God, a false God, or your guns, whatever, that's what you're going to have to call upon when that time comes. This is the book of Judges, chapter 10, and verse 14. And it says, "Go and cry unto the gods which ye have chosen. Let them deliver you in the time of your tribulation." So, right, man, whatever it is you believe in, that's what's going to have to save you in the time to come, man. Because the Lord isn't going to save you. You weren't calling upon the Lord while you had the chance to, you know. So he's not going to have mercy on you niggas. He's going to let Esau have his way with you, you know. A lot of you are going to suffer some very grievous deaths out here, you know. So I'm going to get the book of Amos, chapter 7, and verse 17. And it says, "Therefore, thus saith the Lord, thy wife shall be an harlot in the city." And this is the point. It says, "And thy sons and thy daughters shall fall by the sword, and thy land shall be divided by line, and thou shalt die in a polluted land, and Israel shall surely go into captivity forth of his land." And right, obviously, the first part of this verse, we already know, you know, the women of the nation of Israel, especially, you know, the so-called black women, you know, will be harlots. Obviously, you know, not the sisters, but the majority of Israelite women out here that are not in this truth are harlots, right? And it says, "Your sons, thy sons and thy daughters shall fall by the sword," meaning a lot of Israelite children would die, you know, and that's what's finna come to you people, you know, when you niggas, you're gonna die by the sword, man. You're gonna be slain and left out here in the street. Nobody's gonna bury you. You know, you're not gonna have a funeral. People are gonna be stepping over you, you know. And it says you should die in a polluted land. America's polluted, man. A lot of you are going to die here. We don't want to die here. When I say we, I mean the hopefully elect. We don't want to die here. You know, we don't want to die at all, but still, man, you know, we don't want to die here, because that's going to be the case for a lot of you. You're going to be slain by the sword, or however the Lord sees fit. You know, you are not ready for what Esau Edom has planned for you, you know. So keep thinking that your little switches is going to save you. No, man. No. You niggas are not ready. I'm telling you that now. So I'm going to end it with this. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 51, and verse 20. And it says, "Thy sons have fainted. They lie at the head of all the streets, as a wild bull in a net. They are full of fury. They are full of the fury of the Lord. They rebuke. It's like the rebuke of thy power." And right, man. And just like it says, it's giving a metaphor of a wild bull in a net. And that's talking about you niggas, man. Because again, it says, you know, that you lie at the head of the streets, meaning you're always on the corners. You know, you niggas are always outside, you know, doing something. You know, just standing around. It says you're full of fury, meaning like you just a bunch of young, angry niggas out here, man. You know, taking your anger out on your own people. And yet, you think you can stand a chance against the National Guard, man. You know, again, it's laughable, but a lot of you niggas are about to learn the hard way. You know, you're going to find out that, again, there's nothing that we can do carnally to come up against Esau. Now, is the Lord going to allow some of you jakes to rise up and, you know, get some of these Edomites out the way? Sure. But for the most part, when it comes to these troops, you niggas ain't ready, man. Y'all ain't ready. You're going to be slain out here. You know? So Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory due to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak Wadash. I'd like to give double honors unto the apostles and the elders of the great millstone, who I learned this truth from. And I'd like to say peace and salutations unto the hopefully elect. Till next time I say,
good afternoon, y'all. Hey, man, this is still TikTok, so I'm not going to say nothing crazy. But, listen, you Chicago YNs, bro. The military is coming. The National Guard is coming. And they are unlike your police departments. And they are not controlled, ran, or governed by your police departments. Please don't let that governor and that mayor gaslight you. They cannot support you and they do not have your back. And I'm gonna be honest with you, with all the mayhem and the BS and the trouble that you guys have caused, nobody's going to riot for you. Nobody's going to protest with you. You guys are about to have an awakening. You know what I'm saying? So my best advice to all you young brothers, man, young sisters, whoever's involved in the shenanigans is please go home. Stay at home for a minute. And if you got something that you don't want them to find, you need to get all the way rid of that, man, because they're coming. They're coming. And a little hint to you guys. I know you guys are thinking, man, they can't be all over the place. They can't be everywhere at once. And we can shoot over here and they won't know. Listen, the federal government is not coming with state stuff, if you understand what I mean. They're not coming with state technology. They're coming with federal technology. And you have to understand that when the federal government comes into a picture with federal technology, you have the whole power of the United States government behind them, which means satellite technology. Gun firing technology, which means if you pop a gun here, they can triangulate it and track it right down to you at that very moment. Then all they're going to do is go in and demand that every shop owner and business owner within the vicinity release video camera footage. And trust me, they can't say no. And they're not going to say no because they're tired of what's going on out there in Chicago. You guys really, man, y'all done messed that state up, man. And you know what? As a black man, I'm really over watching you guys kill each other, man, because you're killing off my next generation of people. You're killing off a lot of the older people, too. And you got so many victims of so many different colors. And you guys just don't give no fucks. But I'm going to tell you something, man. This dude is finna bring in somebody who's going to clean that shit up. And I hope that y'all go along with the program, man, and not be the ones to be the example. Because like I told you in the beginning of this video, I'm not going to protest for you. You know, you were warned. I'm not going to riot for you. You know, you were warned. You were told. I'm not even going to advocate because you were told in advance to chill the fuck out, calm the fuck down, and sit the fuck down somewhere. Now, you guys, you guys consider yourself grown at the age of 14, 15, 16. So do whatever the fuck you like. But at the end of the day, when he brings the National Guard through there, please don't let that governor and that mayor gaslight you. You are not battling nobodies. They are not the best trained, but they are significantly trained in combat tactics. And while you guys are talking about, well, we got switches, well, your switches don't compare to nothing they're coming with. Nothing. You think they're coming with pistols? You think they're coming with some Glock 45s, a couple of 9mm? No, bro. You think they're just coming with M16s? M16 is far from the worst thing that they can bring. I mean, all of you guys have played Call of Duty, so if you want to act like you don't know, then act like you don't know. But I'm going to tell you this right now, two things for sure. They're going to unalive a bunch of you. You point a gun at him, you're going to be unalived. So be safe, man. And whoever's watching this video, it's just my opinion, but man, please like, share, follow, get this video out there so people can see what's going on and what's about to happen, because this is not finna be a pretty sight, especially if the YNs think that they're fighting nobodies. You're gonna see real fast.